Could Luis Arias be the second best option if we can't get Steven Kwan? Adolis Garcia got non-tendered. Could he be a serious option for the Mariners? And then there's a mock trade I kind of want to cover and get your thoughts on and see what you think for a big second baseman out there. Hi, everyone. My name is Sam Edwards, host here for Mariners Daily. Thank you so much for joining me. This is the show for the thinking Mariners fan. I appreciate anybody listening, subscribing, liking the episode, all the good stuff, and leaving comments above all. And you know what? I've asked for comments, I've asked for your input, I've asked for discussion, questions, whatever it is. I want it all, and you guys have been delivering. So I really appreciate it. I appreciate you guys watching the episodes, period. So listen, that's what I'm here for. So thanks so much for joining me on this episode. And the reason I bring up the comments is because I wanted to cover one of the comments that we had uh, in the last episode, last week. A comment about Dan Wilson and comparing him to Aaron Boone. I kind of wanted to cover it and just give my thoughts on it real quick. I thought this would be kind of interesting to kind of cover these comments. Some people are freaking posting some full essays in there. So shout out to those people. I'm probably going to get to your comments eventually as I work through them. But this one I thought was interesting, and I think I could cover real quick off the top of the show. This one comes in from William oh no, William Q Muel. That's it. Cumuel. I don't know how you say it in like a seamless fashion, but either way, William Cumuel 7824. He says Dan Wilson will be a factor in the playoffs and not in a good way. That is where Mariners make a difference, i.e., Dave Roberts. The Yankees have been waiting for Aaron Boone to turn it around. Aaron is good enough for the regular season, but he got exposed in the playoffs. There are a lot of similarities between Wilson and Boone. It is very uncanny. Neither has coached before managing, and neither has experienced winning a ring. They won loads of regular season games and can't make the right decisions in the biggest moments when playoffs come around. That is why I think the M's will win. That's why I don't think the M's will win a World Series anytime soon if Aaron Boone and the Yankees are evidence of this. The M's are trying to add talent to overcome Dan's shortcomings. The Yankees have surrounded Aaron with talent such as Garrett Cole and Juan Soto for 1 year and all the players that money can buy, yet the Yankees can't overcome Aaron's shortcomings. The Yankees have drained their farm system to get talent as well. If the Yankees are any indication, the M's could end up draining their farm to no avail. The M's should take note of this as well. It's kind of a crazy comment. Is that crazy to say? Crazy to say for comments that can be crazy. I get it. People say whatever in the comments. This one you just like kind of kept going on and on about this comparison to Aaron Boone. I don't get it. And let me know if other people agree with William over here, but I don't get it. I do not get this comparison whatsoever. This was Dan Wilson's first year managing. First year? First year. Freaking first or second year? Am I going crazy? Like, what's going on? Like, how are we comparing him to Aaron Boone right now? Are the Mariners the same team as the Yankees? Are they comparable? I don't think so. There's way less money involved. They've been built way differently. They've I don't get it. I don't Is it just because of the MVPs? You got Cal Raleigh over here and you got Aaron Judge over there that he's like, oh, then Aaron Boone and Dan Wilson are the same. Like both have done great in the regular season, but can't pull it off in the playoffs. Wilson hasn't been given the chance to. What are we talking about? He had one opportunity, and did he blow it? Are we saying he blew it? Bro, our offense couldn't score. What are we talking about blaming Dan Wilson? I don't get it. I do not get it. I think the manager plays such a smaller role than comments that I have seen. Then I'm not saying this is the collective, uh, I'm not pointing out to William and trying to shame you in any way, but I really don't. I really disagree. I really disagree with this point of view. I don't understand it. I do think Dave Roberts is a good manager, and I am not a big fan of Aaron Boone. I'm not a big fan. I'm as a guy that doesn't especially like the Yankees. I'm happy that they have Aaron Boone because I don't think he's a very good manager. But also at the same time, I don't think a bad manager plays as big of a negative as people think they do. I just really don't. And listen, I have no stats to back that up. I've got nothing to back up that opinion. That is just my opinion. That is it. And also, yeah, they won loads of regular season games, but can't make the right decisions in the biggest moments when playoffs come around. I don't understand how long has Wilson been the manager for? Like, you sound like you sound like he's been the manager for 10 years and that he's just been given chance after chance after chance and he just can't get it done. And if that was the case, then sure, maybe you'd have some, you know, validity to this comment, but I don't understand this little mini rant of comparing Dan Wilson to Aaron Boone. I don't get it. And then the M's are trying to add talent to overcome Dan's shortcomings. At first I read that comment and was like, or that sentence, sorry. The M's are trying to add talent to overcome Dan's shortcomings. I read that as a like my first thought was, why don't Mariners just fire Dan then? Like, if that's what they're trying to do, then why do they have Dan as the manager? But I know that's not what he's saying now that I think about it for a couple more seconds. What he's saying is that he's a terrible manager, and what they're ending up doing, they're thinking they need to do more, and they have to do more, and they have to add more players to win, more talent to win. When in reality, if they just change managers, they would be much better for it. I really disagree with this. Really disagree. It makes no sense. I think they performed pretty much as well as their talent spoke to this past season, and they really came up in a lot of key moments. I'm not saying Wilson's an amazing manager. I think he's a good manager, though. I think he's good enough. Let's say good enough, you know. And like I said, there's no stats, so it's really difficult to judge managers for me because I don't there's not a lot you can go off of besides what the expectations are that you had for said team and how did that manager deal with those situations. And then also you can, hyper focus on certain bullpen decisions, mostly pitch running, sacrifice bunts, things like that, that we feel like the manager's hand is directly involved in. But even then, they could be following whatever a coach whatever their pitching coach says, and they could be following their point of view. I don't know how of their own accord are managers with those huge decisions because they're obviously taking in all of this different input to make big decisions. I don't understand this comparison to Aaron Boone. That's my opinion. I want to know what you guys think. Are Dan Wilson and Aaron Boone really that comparable? Do we really think that Dan Wilson cannot get it done in the playoffs? Because I've seen that comment multiple times that people are like, oh, Dan Wilson, just can't get it done. And a comment that I got a couple weeks back was saying that Naylor would never re-sign with the Mariners because he knows that Dan Wilson sucks as a manager. I understand if you don't like Dan Wilson, that's fine, whatever. But like, you think Dan Wilson's really affecting on a skill basis, of how good of a manager he is? Is that really a big deciding factor for Josh Naylor? Like, I really don't think so. I don't think so. I mean, we re-signed Josh Naylor, so obviously that comment is null and void. But either way, it's just I don't understand it. I don't understand it. Let me know if you hate Dan Wilson. I really want to hear what you think. I do. I really want to hear it. Uh, that's kind of what I'm looking for from these comments. Obviously, if you agree with me, great. Hats off, and you're a very smart person for it. But either way, I want to know what you guys think. Is it ridiculous to compare them? I feel like it's kind of ridiculous for the lack of experience that Dan Wilson has, and Boone has been the manager for the Yankees for a hot minute now. So let me know what you think. Let me know what you think. Player profile here is on Luis Arias. This is kind of also in response to some comments that I have received. People have been talking about Luis Arias going to the Mariners, sorry, for a little while now. And I did just cover Stephen Kwan on the last episode. So Luis Arias is comparable, but he's also not. And I'm going to get into that. So this past season, Luis Arias, first off, he's a free agent and he should be fairly cheap. That's that's an easy reason to just be like, let's go get Luis Arias. And I get that. He played 675 plate appearances this past year, 8 home runs, 11 stolen bases, a 5 walk percentage, pretty, pretty small, but an equally ridiculous 3.1 K percentage. That's insane. The dude does not strike out whatsoever. He is a contact machine. He hit 292 with a 327 on base and a 392 slugging, so slightly better than Stephen Kwan if you're keeping track at home. 313 WOBA, a 300 x WOBA in the season, a 104 runs created plus this past season, which is pretty much right in line with what we have seen. I think he was a little bit better in 2024 with a 109 runs created plus, but I would expect it to be right around here, 109, 104. That feels safe. That feels right. Oh, pardon me. Sorry. Shout out to that dude that commented a couple days ago about me yawning. I'm really sorry. Someone quit yawning. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. 0.9 FR on the season for Arias. He didn't play a whole lot of defense, and what he did play was at first base this past year. Basically, he should be a DH because he was -5 fielding run value total, which was 17th percentile. Yeah, absolutely terrible. -9 outs above average, which is 4th percentile, one of the worst in all of baseball. And an 80.8 miles per hour arm strength, 26th percentile in all of the majors. Basically, he sucks at defense. He has sucked throughout his career. He came up as a second baseman for the most part, and then got moved over to first base because he just could not cut it. And it looks like he still can't cut it at first base. So he's a DH. He's a high contact DH, hitting, at least 290 consistently. We're used to him kind of battling for the batting champ role, basically. But it was only a 289 BABIP this past year, so he just was not the average. It was good, but not batting champ level. 292 batting average is nice, and it is comparable to a game like Stephen Kwan's. My biggest issue is that he's a DH. And Steven Kwan, the biggest reason why I want him is because of his defense, which we definitely need to upgrade at either left field or right field, or both preferably. But, that's in a perfect world. Arias does neither of that. He is stuck at DH pretty much. We could plug him in at first base on off days or whatever. I don't want to see him at second base. I don't care. I don't want to see him there. And I don't really want to see him at first base either. So he's just another lefty hitter. He's high contact, so that's kind of nice, but like does not do anything else whatsoever. Whereas Quan, you could easily argue could be in the leadoff role due to his speed, high contact. Arias had 11 stolen bases this past year. It's not nothing, but it's not. He's not a speedy player, so I would, yeah, I'm kind of against that. Pretty much against Luis Arias across the board. I don't want him whatsoever. People, I'm okay with Stephen Kwan. I think he would be great because of his defense, speed, and the high contact is nice. It is nice because we can use some contact guys. I know another comment was talking about the dimensions of the field and bringing the walls in, meaning that we are a little more homer prone, but it means that it doesn't work as well with slappy hitters like Stephen Kwan or Luis Arias. I don't think we should just throw the baby out with bathwater personally. Maybe it's not as good for high contact guys, but we need a couple of high contact guys just because of their consistency, I would say. Obviously if we can get guys that are uh high contact and high powered, that'd be great. That'd be great. That's a perfect world. In a perfect world, that'd be great. But, you know, we might have to settle for a high contact guy. I don't want Luis Arias though. Out of all these high contact, I don't care. Give me. I'd rather Luke Rayleigh starting at DH. Honestly, like give me. Let somebody else. Let a rookie. Get his feet wet. Like do anything else. I don't care about Luis Arias. I don't care that he's cheap. I don't care. I don't care. I don't care. I don't care. I don't want him on the team. I just don't want him. He does nothing else besides hit for contact. Not a very great skill, personally. It's a nice skill, and I do want a contact guy. Like I'd be okay with Stephen Kwan, depending on how much he would cost prospect wise. But Arias just doesn't do much for me. High contact DH does nothing for me, honestly. So yeah, I don't really care. Next up, Adolis Garcia, he just got non-tendered by the Texas Rangers. Could he be a serious option for the Seattle Mariners? I'm a no guy. I'm no. I'm a no across the board personally. He is consistently shown to be a below average hitter. And that's basically it. He doesn't make enough contact. He does not make enough contact for his power to play. He had 547 plate appearances this past year, 19 home runs. Pardon. Woo! 19 home runs, 13 stolen bases, a 5.1 walk percentage, a 24.7 K percentage. Not even out of hand either, but he's just not making enough contact. A 267 batting average on balls in play, BABIP, and then a 227 batting average, a 271 on base, and a 394 slugging percentage. That is a slugging percentage that is 0.002 points higher than Luis Arias. Yeah, it's crazy. Arias was a better hitter this past year with his 104 runs created plus compared to Adolis Garcia's 83 runs created plus. Now, you could say Adolis got a little unlucky, possibly looking at his 286 WOBA versus the 304 expected WOBA that he had. That's still not saying much, and I don't want him personally. That's me. He is right handed. I guess if he took Victor Robles's role, I'd be okay with it just because of the ceiling that Adolis Garcia does provide. But he does not do very much. He does run a little bit. He's got a little bit of pop. And if he started making, average to a little bit slightly above average contact, then maybe the power would start playing a little bit more. But I really don't expect it to because he's consistently shown he can't. And he's also getting older. And this is also a huge reason why the Texas Rangers non tendered him, didn't give him a contract. I could easily see him going to the freaking Royals. I could see him going to the freaking White Sox. The Marlins I feel like they could easily fit just because they're the type of teams that grab these veterans that just are trying to reclaim some of that magic, and they just want a buy low, sell high option. So I feel like that's where these guys go. I don't want them on the Mariners personally. That's me. That's basically it. Finally, there's a mock trade that Just Baseball put out, which shout out to Just Baseball. They're just great guys putting out great content. And yeah, just very thoughtful content. I want to get you guys' thoughts on this mock trade that they threw out there on Twitter. This is a mock trade for Ketel Marte, a guy that you guys know that I would love to get. The mock trade is we send infielder Cole Young, right-handed pitcher Ryan Sloan, just had his first season in professional ball this past season. He is ranked number 32 overall for Just Baseball's top 100 prospects rankings that they just did. And then they also have us sending starting pitcher Emerson Hancock as well. So we got Cole Young, we got Ryan Sloan, we got Emerson Hancock for Ketel Marte, who is not a free agent until 2030 or 2031. Give me this deal all day. I get the concerns with Ketel Marte. I don't think we're taking a huge risk by sending Young and Sloan and Hancock to the Diamondbacks. I think that I would easily take this. And I don't know if the D-backs would. My guess is that they wouldn't just because of how ready I am to make this deal. But yeah, I'm freaking ready to make this deal. I know Ketel Marte, he's 32 years old. I get it. He's playing second base. We've got some other guys that could play there. I understand. He's not getting paid very much for how good of a player he is, and he has consistently shown to be that top tier player. And yes, players age and all of that good stuff, but I want Ketel Marte on this team. I think this is a move that winning teams make. I think we have the prospect depth to get this done and not feel it very much at all. So that's my opinion. What would you do? What do you think? Cole Young, Ryan Sloan, Emerson Hancock. Would you do that for Ketel Marte? What do you think? Let me know in the comments. I appreciate you guys watching. Yeah, thanks. I appreciate it. I really do. All right, I'll see you back tomorrow. Have a good one.